Okay. Which team is more likely to make a run to the Super Bowl out of the Bears or the 49ers?
So I think it's the Bears. I do.
Wow. What is
I figured you'd be shocked. I figured you'd be shocked. But no, listen, it's wide open. I do think that the Niners' offense is incredible. I've loved Kyle Shanahan and given him credit for years. They've got a very high ceiling. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game where I'm not sure that 30 is going to be enough to win this game between these two teams. I think both teams will move the ball at will. I think the Bears coach is quickly approaching Kyle Shanahan levels. Like, I do really believe in Ben Johnson, the play caller, at that. I think Caleb is playing his best ball. The Bears' defense is healthier, and they have an advantage of if you have to go to Soldier Field and play in Chicago in January, that's just an added advantage that benefits them that the Niners don't have. So I think it is wide open in the NFC, and I think the Bears, the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Rams are in a grouping of teams who all can realistically say, we can represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Bears win 2 games, Seattle loses 1, playoffs go through Chicago.
I agree it's wide open, and obviously playing in Chicago, if they got home field, would be a huge advantage. So I'll give you that. But I'm going to go with the Niners because defensively, their defense, while it's not great, at least statistically, it's the 11th best scoring defense in the league. Chicago's 19th. All right, so neither defense has been great, but I'll go with San Francisco statistically over Chicago's. And then Brock Purdy is just playing better throughout the course of a game. Now, obviously, Caleb's been heroic, but he isn't as consistent. And Purdy's been there. This will be Caleb's first time in the playoffs. Obviously, the big moment doesn't rock him, so he can maybe, be ready for the moment. But Purdy, I just think his consistency throughout a game, and he's played in some big, obviously, the freaking Super Bowl. But even before that, he's had comebacks, in the NFC playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. So I think because of the consistency of San Francisco's offense and then their defense being slightly better, I would go with them. And home field, they could have the freaking Super Bowl in their place.
Right, they could play a home game in the Super Bowl. And I'll concede that Purdy is more consistent. That is undeniable. I do think the numbers lie a little bit about the Niners' defense. Like, the Niners' injuries are season-ending injuries. Warner's not coming back. Bosa's not coming back. Mikael Williams is not coming back. Multiple cornerbacks are on the IR. The Bears have had a lot of defensive injuries, but guys are just started to come back. Tremaine Edmonds came back last week. Jalen Johnson just came back. Tyreek Stevenson just came back. And the Bears, we know what they do with the takeaways. The only good offense the Niners have played in the last 2.5 months is the Rams, and they scored 42 on them. So maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe the Niners' defense is the 11th best, and they'll stymie the Bears' rushing attack. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think their numbers have been propped up by playing Cleveland and Tennessee and teams like that.
This is a tough one for me, KW, because what do they call me?
Mr. Consistency, of course.
Yeah. So I think the audience would expect me to say, obviously, the Bears, because I thought the Bears could make the Super Bowl last year when Caleb Williams was a rookie. I, somewhat famously, call me Brock Purdy skeptic of the show. And I, really like Caleb. However, now that I have seen Caleb through 2 years, I think one of my concerns for him that I didn't have coming into his career, but now I think exists, is dealing within adversity within a game. Now, this year, he has gone from a guy that I thought could be playing great, hit a rough patch, and then spiral, to he can play poorly throughout a game and then turn it on at the end. Mm-hmm. However, I cannot assign this, I've never seen you in the playoffs, skepticism to other guys, like I will with Drake May to a degree, even though I think Drake May's having an MVP caliber year, and just assume that Caleb, a player that we have seen be emotional within games, is going to deal with the inevitable adversity that comes at any time in his first career playoff game or in his second career playoff game, as well as Brock Purdy has proved to be able to do. So because of that, and
Coming
because
around.
no, I'm not coming around, but I try to be fair. I have questions about Brock Purdy's limitations in a lot of ways. I do not question whether or not. I don't think that if he throws 2 picks in the first half of a playoff game, it's going to ruin him. Because it's like I did that before, and then I bounced a pass off a guy's helmet, and I got called and they said I carried them to a Super Bowl. I got all the credit. And so,
he couldn't let it
and
go.
where
But
I
do you see a lot of Caleb, like
Oh.
melting down? Though?
no, but again, I can't just have a separate rule for the quarterbacks that I like, which is I think your first playoff game is a different animal. I think until I've seen you perform in the postseason, I'm going to be somewhat skeptical. And the one thing you said that I disagree with the most is I do not think that we can yet say Ben Johnson is approaching Kyle Shanahan.
I let that go.
Well, that's because you don't believe in Shanahan either.
But the guy's been to Super Bowls.
And I was really more, I guess, concerned by that 4th and 1 play call than you were. That to me felt like, if people, again, I should have had Christina pull the video, but if you weren't watching football this weekend, Bears-Packers, first quarter, they have 4th and 1 from the 6. It looks like they're going tush-push, and the play was to snap it between the tight end's legs to the running back who's 5'9", standing behind him, and then I think they were going to throw a pass to Caleb. I don't know what they were going to do after that, because shockingly, the ball went over the 5'9" guy's head, and they ended up losing yards in the biggest game of the Bears season.
Right.
And so I think that if these two teams were to play in the playoffs, again, I think the Bears are going to win this weekend, oddly. But if these two teams were to play in the playoffs, and one of our stories Monday is Coach X, what was he thinking? Ben Johnson's a 9-1 favorite over Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, yeah.
To have done something crazy in that spot. So I just can't.
He's also a 9-1 favorite to have executed a play call that won something. Like the play call to DJ Moore for the game-winning touchdown is a hyper-aggressive play call in that moment. Recognize the coverage. Everyone thinks they're playing for a field goal. One more first down, you get in field goal range, and he goes for the kill shot against the coverage, and he perfectly executes it. Like, that play call was not conventional.
It wasn't conventional, but it was you snap the ball to your quarterback drops back 5 steps, and he throws deep down the field. It wasn't insane. And a lot of Ben Johnson, listen, I love that he's a friend of the show. I love that the Bears hired him. But I do think a fair criticism is at times it feels like he calls plays like, wait till they see what I'm about to do.
I agree with that. I agree with that completely, and he even admitted that he messed that one up. But I think he also partly admits that he messed it up because it didn't work. Like, Ben Johnson, they were a terrible running team last year. They were a terrible running team the first 4 weeks of the year, and they've been the best running team in the NFL since. And it's with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai, a cast-off from Philly and a 7th-round pick. They turn around and hand the ball off to the running back a lot. Like, he got too cute in one spot, and it didn't work, undeniable. But I still think he's an incredible play caller that has transformed this offense in one season.
I agree with all that. I also worry that he was the play caller for the Detroit Lions last year, and in their playoff game, in the biggest spot of their season, Jameson Williams, who is famously known for doing the worm in the end zone, was throwing the biggest pass of the Lions season. Like, there is a little bit of that I don't worry about with Shanahan. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. Josh Allen head to Buffalo. He didn't do much against the Browns defense last week. Will he have more success against the Eagles at home? In the last 17 games for Josh Allen at home, he's only lost 1. So let's find out in a cool segment called Packed Stats. And remember, we're really leaning into the coolness of the segment. I'm ready for some cool stats.
You ready for some cool stats?
I am.
Everyone ready?
What's this music?
And again, we
You don't mind.
Oh, I thought I heard like a
You did.
electric guitar for him.
I think it'll be back.
Guys, first week I didn't
bad.
injure myself.
Yeah,
putting on
he
the
cut
gloves.
himself yesterday. Last
That's 2 weeks in a row. Little injury. All right. Well, we spent a lot of time talking about the Philadelphia Eagles offense and all of their problems. I think we're underrating and underestimating the Eagles defense, and that's not a cool thing to do. Eagles defense, since their bye in Week 9, is the best in football, allowing 15 points per game and quarterbacks having absolutely no success throwing the ball on Philadelphia. And you'd say, well, Danny, you're the guy who points out that they've played an easy schedule. They haven't. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, among the quarterbacks who have faced this Eagles defense and really struggled. We talked about A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley, Patullo, and Jalen Hurts. Maybe their defense is going to be the thing that carries them, and they got a great test this week in Buffalo against the Bills.
Well, and that is key in that when we talk about the supernatural funk of 2 years ago, yes, the offense in Jalen had issues, but the biggest problem statistically with that team during that stretch was the defense fell off a cliff. It's what led to them bringing in Vic Fangio. So I think that the Eagles do, and some of this stretch obviously being without Jalen Carter, who had not been having, by the way, a great year this year, but is still
He's had a weird year throughout, but he's an incredibly
He started the year off
player.
by spitting Dak Prescott before the first snap of the season was played.
That's a weird year.
And then had shoulder surgery on both shoulders. But having him back will be good. I agree with you in this regard. I don't know if they're underrated or not. I guess it depends on how people are rating them. I think that is clearly going to have to be the strength of their team if they are going to go on a deep playoff run. I don't think they're going to be beating teams 31-27. I think they're going to have to beat teams 20-17, and that would be through the defense, bro.
Well, that's why the ball control, low pass, and offense doesn't bother me. You know, because you can only do that with success if you have a strong defense, and they obviously have that. I mean, we saw it in some of their wins, the low scores, and we know that the quarterback can deliver in the big moments. And we'll see. I mean, I don't want to jump off 3 games, but maybe the run game is starting to return, and that would fit perfectly with this defense.
And it's weird because if the run game looks good this week against Buffalo, I feel like I will come in here and say, well, everyone's run game looks good against Buffalo. But if the Eagles defense slows down Josh Allen and the offense will be, maybe they can be one of those teams that gets carried by their defense to a Super Bowl.
Do you have any more cool stats in your briefcase?
Of course I do.
Are you going to do the, what's
Hey,
Whoa!
what are you doing?
Whoa!
What? He didn't
You
do
know
it
what's
for the
not called
first
stepping
one.
on?
Well,
He didn't do it.
No, you should have. But
No, I do it for the second and the third one.
Well, you should do it for all of them.
know what's cool?
It's the best
He
Consistency.
part.
sets up, Wild sets up. You know what else is not cool? Stepping on your
be
friend's
cool.
bits.
No, be cool.
Oh,
But you know what's
sorry.
cool? Passion.
You know what else is cool? Road trips.
Actually, it is cool.
Road trips are the best. The Patriots, if they win this week, they will be undefeated on the road. 73%, 72.7% of teams that go a full season undefeated on the road make the Super Bowl.
Wow.
That is a wild thing.
That is a cool.
AW, take it.
Who did they
Jesus.
play? They had to go play Texas A&M. Oh,
You're a
play
13
Notre
and a
Dame.
half point favorite to
Boom.
win against the Jets. This is the list of teams, by the way.
Who did they play? The Jets.
Right,
Oh,
exactly.
sorry.
Look, these
Unbeaten
are
on
the
the
teams that
road.
unbeaten on the road that made it to a Super Bowl. Some pretty iconic teams. So we talk about home field advantage and how much it matters. Getting that 1 seed. The 1 seed obviously matters for the bye. You'd rather play at home. But maybe leaving Foxborough, not as big of a deal for the Patriots as we would think.
Well, here's the problem. I mean,
Not fair. Schedule. I want to make the schedule next year. I want to do it. Roger Goodell, I want to make the schedule for the Patriots next year. I'm going to put the hard teams on there and be like, Madden, you have to play 85 Bears. That's it. All right, tell Kevin Wiles, you guys have an easy schedule. You guys aren't good. You just played the Panthers. Hold on, the Panthers are good? Oh, then you played the Bucks. You beat the Bucks when they were good. Well, now they're bad, and they're bad. It was a bad win, even though they were winning. They were #1 team coming off a bye on the road.
So you,
that sounds great, man. That was
Everyone's
that was
complaining.
hilarious.
Bonkers.
That was great. But the fact is, you beat 2 teams. I mean, so Danny, that's a nice stat, but come on. Who are they? I'd like to see your graphic of who they've beaten on the road. I
they
know
played on the
Buffalo,
road?
but outside of that,
Well,
We
they
beat the Bucks on the road. The Bills
Bucks? The ones that lost 6 of the last 7 games.
Yes.
That was
That
one
Bucks
of them.
team.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you who we beat on the road. The Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I
Who
know.
in the last
That's
17
one
games
good
are
win.
16 and 1.
The ones that just struggled with the Browns.
But we're not. We can't go and it's. What was that college team that was going to play an extra game? Was it Vanderbilt?
I don't remember.
There was some college team that was like, you want us to play an extra game? We will.
So,
Like, we'll do it. You want us to? Who do you want us to play?
hold on.
Chiefs?
Can we
Who we want to play?
Can I make a request?
We'll
So
get
first
there
of
in the
all,
playoffs.
I would love
if
to.
your overall point is they don't need, I guess is what it is, they don't need home field to reach the Super Bowl.
That's right.
I
That's
agree
right.
they don't have to have it. I disagree that I don't think they are quite, and I don't think Kevin Wildes does either, the caliber of most of those other teams we saw on that list. It was the back-to-back champion Niners were on that list. Obviously, the defending champion Chiefs were on that list.
07 Patriots.
The 07 Patriots who
01
didn't win
Rams.
this. You're right. So that part,
Brady's
I didn't quite agree. I don't think I put them in that group. The point that I will make about the Patriots schedule, even though this was not supposed to be about the Patriots schedule, this was supposed to be cool stats, but instead
is
Wildes
cool.
did his whiny, cry baby voice,
All right.
that we just do. Here is objectively true. We are 16 games into, there's 16 weeks into an 18-week season. We have a pretty good idea, based on records, who's good and who's bad. Based on record of your opponent, the Patriots have played the easiest schedule in football. Not based on any advanced metric, just based on all the teams you've played, their wins and their losses. It's been the easiest in football. Now, the second easiest in either the AFC or all of football is Denver. And it doesn't get thrown at Denver the way it gets thrown at the Patriots. So I do think that at times it can be overstated. But it is, even if the Bucs had won a couple more games and they had, 3 wins over teams with a winning record, it would be the easiest schedule of the season. Nothing you can do about it, and you don't have to apologize for it. But it is a factor in this, just like when you were really high on the Texans a couple weeks ago, the argument was they have played the hardest schedule in football,
that's
so
nice.
they're a little better than their record suggests. If a team's played the easiest schedule in football, they might be a touch worse than the record suggests. That's all. No whiny
You know
voice.
my mantra, Wildes. You should adopt it for the same. Facts over feelings.
Hey guys, you know what else is cool?
I like a guitar a lot. What else is cool, Danny?
When everyone has a chance to win.
Equal playing field.
This year, we always are saying, feels wide open.
Brew is always saying it.
9 teams are 11 or 4 or better. The most in the history of football since we had at least 16 games on the schedule at this point in the year. So factually, by the data, it is more wide open than ever. Technically, 10 teams are still eligible for the 1 seed. Now that is obviously very unlikely to happen, but we can
What's
show you.
unlikely to happen?
Well, for all 10 teams.
I would say.
I'm saying some of these teams it's very unlikely for them, but these teams are all 11 or 4 or better, and technically the Texans actually still have a point-something mathematical chance to get there. But when we say, wow, it's wide open, or I have no idea who's going to win the Super Bowl, it's actually backed up by historical data. We've never had this many teams with this good of a record this late in the season. I think that's pretty cool.
And it also,
Really cool.
You then add to it, which is not, one of your data points, that in the AFC, the guys who have been in the Super Bowl the last 6 years aren't in the playoffs. Now, 5 of those are Patrick, but one of them's Joe. Seriously, and so that
adds to it feeling wide open.
It feels wide open. It would feel less wide open if 3 of the teams in this bucket, were Lamar, Joe, and Patrick. Then if you are the Jags,
Darnold,
you probably
Bo Nix,
you
Trevor,
feel
sure.
worse than it does. So I agree with this. It feels the 08. I keep bringing up Brew, the 08 season, because that was the year Brady blew his ACL and the Patriots missed the playoffs. Man, that year the 9-7 Cardinals made it out of the NFC. A Steelers team that I don't think won their division that year made it out of the AFC. It felt open in that regard. And Peyton's Colts were the wild card because the Titans with Kerry Collins were the 1 seed. It was a weird year. This year feels very similar in that regard.
Now, look, this has been my mantra all year. It is wide open. It's going to be an incredible playoff. And I do think because of Brady and Mahomes, we've gotten into this field sentiment of you need to get to the Super Bowl, you need this all-time great quarterback. Not necessarily. That hasn't been the case historically, and maybe this is a year where somebody surprises.
Now, it might end up being Josh Allen against Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
And it'll end up feeling like a lot of other years. But at this exact moment, heading into Week 17, we've never seen a league like this.
You know how we do letters for the Bud list? We are accepting letters, and please write down who you want the Patriots to play in the playoff bracket. How do you want? I will take them over myself to the league office and see if we can.
Who I would like the
line something.
Patriots to play?
Well, certainly
Well,
I
they
don't
gonna
want
have
to
a
just.
tougher
I would
schedule
like them
next
to
year,
play the
that's for
Bills.
sure.
Great, we're 1-1 against the Bills.
Yeah,
that would be fantastic.
and that would-
I just want to know who we're allowed to beat
It's
on the
gonna be
road
a
to the
much
Super
tougher
Bowl.
schedule next
So if
year.
we win the Super Bowl, like, oh, come on.
Man, I thought my staff
You
was gonna
win
make
it,
him
you
happy.
get all love,
It's
man.
an easy
You
Super
get all
Bowl.
love.
Get up,
No,
Mike.
won't be easy. Won't
Patrick
be easy.
Mahomes is
You
not
don't want
there.
your
It'll be
final
legit.
words before Christmas on this show to be whining.
No, I was gonna do.
You don't want him to be
Merry
bah
Christmas at the end.
humbug.
I'm not bah humbug at all. I'm happy that we got an easy schedule.
Gentlemen, as we all know, I see the league very clearly.
Big eye.
So I wanted to apply the eye test this week to some of the juggernauts in the NFL. We know that coaching matters. Coach of the Year race, by the way, wide open. So I wanted to say and see, more accurately see, who are the best coach teams? Who's doing the best job coaching this year in the NFL? So as I apply this across the board there, that's pretty good. Dave Canales in Carolina, he will not win the Coach of the Year award, but Bryce Young is having career bests across the board. Yards per completion, passing yards, passer rating, passing touchdown, spectacular. Also, if they get to 9 wins and they're 1 win away from it, they've only done that 6 times this century in Carolina. Dave Canales is doing a great job. Now, Mike Vrabel is many people's favorite for Coach of the Year. And if it was a most wins added award, he would win. But if it was a most wins added award, we wouldn't need any conversation because they're easily going to go from 4 wins last year to as many as 14 wins this year. I personally think more of the development for New England has been on the offensive side of the ball, which is why I would vote Josh McDaniels for, there's now a new award for the assistant coach of the year.
Okay.
To me, I would give a little bit more credit to Josh McDaniels than Mike Vrabel. And then Kyle Shanahan, they have missed the most games from week 1 starters due to injury of any team that's currently in the playoffs right now. They've been decimated by injuries. Their offense kept rolling with Mac Jones in. Kyle Shanahan is just a remarkable head coach. So I think he is done, just gets to be on the 3rd row of great coaches. But as we advance here, as I see the league clearly, this, by the way, proves that I'm not biased because Ben Johnson has not had the best coaching job in the NFL. It's top 3 and it's incredible. Ben Johnson has transformed Caleb Williams, the culture in Chicago, their running game, their belief, and I now am locked in to the Bears' social media channels after games, waiting for my good, better, best.
Yep.
It's just an unbelievable, the culture, he's taking his shirt off, he's feeding the city of Chicago, he's embracing it, he's calling, we're gonna play our best ball at the end of the year. He's been absolutely amazing. He's the best coach of the Bears in my lifetime, not the best in the NFL this year. Mike McDonald might be. I'm not giving him Coach of the Year. I'll reveal that one in a second.
Ex-Raven,
And
by the way.
they won. Ex-Ravens, right? They won 10 games last year. They're only going to add 3 or 4 to their win total this year, depending on where they end. So again, it's not a most wins added award. Well, there is one team in the NFL that is top 3 in scoring offense and scoring defense, and it's the Seattle Seahawks. And while their roster is good, no one would say, man, that's the most talented team in the NFL. Sam Darnold at quarterback, Jackson Smith and Jigba accounting for 40% of their offensive production. It's not a who's who of all pros there. Mike McDonald has done an absolutely incredible job, and they lead the league in point differential. But as I see it, seeing the league clearly, Liam Cohen would get my vote for Coach of the Year with the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of reasons for this. First and foremost, what he's done with Trevor Lawrence. Turning around Drake May or Caleb Williams, did you even really turn them around? It was just their 2nd year in the NFL. Maybe they were going to be great and just take that leap. This is year 5 for Trevor Lawrence. And let's just look at what he was last year and this year. So that's year 4 on the left, year 5 on the right, once he got Liam Cohen. It's been a remarkable transformation. He's obviously playing the best football of his career right now as he gets more familiar in the system. Remember, they got nothing from their first-round pick in Travis Hunter, who was not productive early and then obviously has been injured and out for the year. Travis Etienne, I could create a graphic like that same thing last year in his career so far. Disappointment. He's been great this year. But just to further put the point on how good Liam Cohen's been, this is Baker Mayfield. Before he had Liam Cohen in 2023, fine numbers. With Liam Cohen as his play caller in the MVP conversation, top 5 offense in football. And now the year after, and there have been injuries to the wide receivers, no doubt, but Baker Mayfield's production has dropped off significantly, as has Bucky Irving's. So Tampa's offense, with and without, massive. It's a wide open race. Coaching matters more in football than any other sport. Those would be my top 6. Liam Cohen would get my vote. Coach, do you see the league as clearly as I do?
Yeah, look, all those guys have done an incredible job. Just with Liam Cohen, did Trevor, he ever go to the playoffs before?
He has been in the playoffs.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Yeah.
All right,
Been in
and
the
then
playoffs.
with
He's having a better year, though.
okay, I mean, but he has been.
He's been in the playoffs before,
Been
yeah.
on a heater, like a 7-game heater, right, where he won 7. Okay.
All right, yeah, okay, that's happening.
Wondering.
Yeah.
And then with McDonald, had the progress that they made offensively and defensively. I know you said they're top 3 in each category.
Yeah.
Weren't they pretty good in those categories last year?
When he became the coach.
Yeah, but so they really haven't changed much from where they were last. Okay.
That's true.
But if you go drill down here, so Mike Vrabel goes to New England, and New England's pretty much dead last in every category, offensively and defensively last year.
Yeah.
And now they're top 10 in almost every category, offensively and defensively. And granted, their schedule's been a little bit lighter, but this is
Been the easiest
this
in the
is
NFL.
a year removed from taking over from a legend, and things were about as dysfunctional as they could have been in New England. And now they've got a chance for the number 1 seed. Put that all into perspective, so all those accomplishments, and they lead the league right now in salary cap space. So they have the opportunity to not only be very good this year, but have a ton of money to go be better next year.
Applying the eye test to coaching might have been a backfire. You want the magnifying glass, coach? You see it clearly. Willie, you see it the same way I do with coaching?
Well, I'm shocked. For a guy that loves Justin Herbert, I don't see Jim Harbaugh in there. And I'm trying to say, I
They
mean,
might get the number 1 seed too.
right, this is
Unlikely.
what he's been able to do. I mean, his resume speaks for himself. He turned around the Niners, went deep in the playoffs with them. But if we're talking about this year specifically, 27 different O-line combinations, was
That's
able to get
ridiculous.
it done. You're talking about early injuries or Marion Hampton, Khalil Mack, Herbert with the broken hand. And look at the bottom line.
Slater, all
11-4 through 15 games since 2018. All he does is build, win, and conquer. And so I'm surprised, Danny, out of this this happy tribe of head coaches, the guy you stand on the desk for, Justin Herbert, you don't have his head coach.
To be totally candid with you, I just think that Herbert is more responsible. Like if there was a 4th row, Jim Harbaugh would be on it. DeMeco Ryans would be on it. Jim Harbaugh has.
You didn't even mention Sean McVay, which is wild to me as well.
So, Coach of the Year is a weird thing. Like, should it just be Andy Reid every year? Like, should it just
Shouldn't be this year.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, so should it be like?
No,
I don't think it's most wins improved, but like the best job you're doing this year. It's like overachieving.
Yeah, I think that you're on the right track with this group of guys. You're just a little bit
skewed. Not 2020 vision.
Yeah, it's
2060.
We'll get you some.
Sounds like you need glasses.
Man, LASIK's the best decision I ever made.